Hello students, welcome to LSAT with Abhishek sir. In this series of YouTube videos, I will cover all the sections of LSAT which will give a good direction to your LSAT preparation. I will share the techniques that have helped my students ace this exam. I run exclusive LSAT batches in which my students have consistently scored over 99 percentile. In fact, 2 out of every 4 students have scored over 90 percentile in these batches. To be a part of this batch, you may WhatsApp or call me at the number on your screen, or you may also email at the ID given.
Today, I would be discussing an important theory. This is important because you can expect at least one set which will be based on this theory. So basically, you are given LSAT AR sets, you are given logical games or case lists, and you have to solve them. One of the important clue to solve such questions is in the form of if A, then B. So you will be given a clue in the form of if A, then B. So first of all, we need to understand what does this imply or what does this mean. So if A, then B, A is the cause here and B is the effect here. Please understand that this is one of the causes, not the only cause, right? Now, when this relationship has been established, I can give you information either about A and you have to make deduction about B, or I can give you information about B and you have to make deduction about A. What do I mean by this? Let's say this relationship has already been established that if A, then B. Now I'm telling you that A happened, right? Or I could tell you that A did not happen. So on the basis of this, you have to make deduction about B. That if you know that this is a relationship that if A then B, and you are provided additional information that A happened, what can you say about B? And if you know that A did not happen, what can you say about B? Likewise, I can give you part information and this information is only about B. The information could be that B happened. You know that B has happened. What can you say about A? Or you've been provided additional information that B did not happen. What can you say about A? All right. So let me give you a simple example. If A then B, if I tell you that if student X come to class, I go mad. So student X come to class, if X come to class, I go mad. Let's say this is the relationship. So here A is X come to the class and B is I go mad. So X coming to the class is the cause and I'm going mad is the effect. Now let's say you've been told that X came to the class. What can you conclude about my state of mind? Yes, you can say that I definitely would have gone mad. Now, if you've been told that X did not come to the class, what can you conclude about my state of mind? Those who think that I will not go mad are incorrect. As in, you may be right, you may be wrong. You can't say with 100% certainty that I won't go mad. I may or may not go mad, right? Because this is one of the cause. There might be other issues in my life. Maybe my AC is not working. Maybe the Wi-Fi network is not strong. So even when student X did not come to the class, I may still go mad, right? So when this is the relationship that if cause then effect, if cause happen, effect will definitely happen. If cause does not happen, effect may or may not happen. This is extremely important. All right. Now let's say I give you information about the effect. Now you know for a fact that I am mad in the class. You are asking a question and I'm giving you, let's say I'm getting mad at you, right? So my mood is really mad. So if you know that I am mad in the class, what can you conclude about student X? Yes, he may or may not have come to the class. Because there, as we've already established, there could be many reasons why I might lose it. So if I am mad, you cannot with 100% guarantee say that X would have come to the class. He may or may not have come to the class, right? Similarly, if you know that I am not mad in the class, right? You ask a question and I say, wow, brilliant question. I asked all the batchmates to clap for you. I'm in such a good mood. So I am not mad. What can you conclude about student X coming to the class? Yes, student X would not have come to the class. In fact, nothing in the world that could have made me lose my mind, nothing from that would have happened. This was one of the cause. So even this would not have happened. So basically what it means is that if we have a relationship like this, that if A then B, we can say only two things. The two things that we can say is, if the cause happen, effect will happen. The second deduction is, if effect did not happen, cause may not have happened. Let me give you one more example. I eat ice cream. If I eat ice cream, I get happy. So what are two deductions that we can make, guys? Yes, the two deductions are, number one, this is, if I eat ice cream, I will get happy. This is the first deduction. And second deduction is, if I am not happy, if you know this, then from this you can conclude, I did not eat ice cream. I did not eat ice cream. This is extremely, extremely important, guys. And I'll later on tell you how this is important. Okay. So we know these are the only two deductions, guys. This one and this second. All right. Now let's try to solve some questions, the application of this. Quickly read the instructions, and my suggestion to you guys would be because you're watching this video, that whenever you come to a fresh question, pause it, solve it, and then play it again, because I will not give you time to solve this question, right? So when you're watching it the first time, just pause the video for a while, try to solve the question, mark your answer, and then listen to my answer. All right. So you may pause it for a while, solve it, read the instructions, and then answer the question. Okay. Assuming that you would have paused the video and try to answer the question, let's understand what this question means. If I'm looking at option BC, this basically means the first part, if you know that the first part happened, what is the first part? B. If you know that I did not work hard, if you know this for a fact that I did not work hard, can you automatically conclude C? What is C? I play harder. I play harder. Can you conclude this? This is what choice number BC means. Choice number BD means, if B you know has happened, can you conclude D? That is what the question is. Now guys, the way I solve this question is, you already know the answers. There are two answers. So do not go to the option choice, directly make your own answer. What do I mean by this? We know that when the relationship is in this form, that if cause then effect, there are only two answers. The two answers are, if cause happened, effect will happen. The other answer is, effect did not happen, so cause will not happen. These are the only two answers, right? Okay, one second. All right, so I'll look for my first answer, which is this. Cause happened. What is cause? I work hard. So where do you get I work hard? I work hard is in A. So I work hard. If this happens, I know effect will happen. What is effect? I play harder. So I play harder will happen. So the first answer would be AC. That if A happens, C will happen. The next answer is this one. In this, I know about effect, which is effect did not happen. What was effect here? I play harder. So I would know that this did not happen. So I did not play harder is D. And if I know that effect did not happen, I would know the cause would also not have happened. The cause that would not have happened is I work hard, which means I did not work hard, which is B. So the second correct answer is DB. So to this question, there are two correct answers, AC and DB, which is this one. Please understand DB is different from BD. BD means that you know B happened. What is B? I did not work hard. B will come here. This is B. I did not work hard. So if you know this, can you conclude anything? No, you can't conclude anything with certainty. You can only conclude maybe I play harder, or maybe I did not play hard. But what does D say? I did not play harder. D says this. I cannot be sure. It should have been maybe. So I hope you got the difference between BD and DB. The fundamental thing is, if this is the form of the information that is provided to you, there are only two answers. If cause happened, effect will happen. If effect did not happen, cause would not happen. Go to question number 2. Again, pause this video for a while, come to the answer, and then listen to my audio. All right. Again, here also, I know the two answers. So I work for my first answer, which is the cause happened, which is I watched TV. I watched TV is D. So I will top my exams. I will top my exams is B. Right? So one answer is DB. Let's look at the second answer is effect did not happen, which means I know that I did not top my exam, which is C. So which means now that I would not have watched TV. If the effect did not happen, the cause also would not happen. I did not watch TV is A. So the other answer is DB and CA. So the two correct answers are DB and CA. I've only been given CA. So second, the answer is D. All right. Let's go for number 3. Again, pause the video for a while, attempt it, and then listen to my audio. All right. Again, two answers. If Mahesh does not eat vegetables, so this entire thing is the cause. So Mahesh does not eat vegetables is A. So effect will happen, which is he will feel fresh. So Mahesh felt fresh is D. So one answer is AD. The second answer is effect did not happen, which means Mahesh did not feel fresh, which is B. So cause would not happen. Cause was Mahesh does not eat vegetables. So Mahesh does not eat vegetables did not happen, which means Mahesh ate vegetables, that is C. So the other answer is BC. So the two correct answers were AD and BC. So this is the correct answer. I'm sure you got the gist of it, right? We'll try, I think, two more. Number 4. If Nike eats donuts first and then a burger, he burps. Okay. So first I'll go for this one, that cause happened, which is Nike eats donuts first and then a burger, which is B. So then he would have burped. Nike burped is A. So one answer is BA. The other answer is effect did not happen, which means Nike would not have burped. So Nike did not burp is D. So which means he would not have ate donut first. So he ate burger first and then donut, which means this did not happen. Right? So the other answer is DC. So first answer is BA, second answer is DC. So yes, this is our correct answer. Okay, last question on this. The first would be Ghar Ki Party wins the elections. So Ghar Ki Party won election is C. Corruption will go down. Corruption declined is B. So one answer is CB. The other answer is corruption did not go down, which is D, which means this party would definitely not have won the elections. Ghar Ki Party did not win election is A. So the other answer is DA. So two answers were CB and DA. DA is not given, CB is given. This is the correct answer. All right. Sixth, I'll leave it for you. You can just practice on your own. All right. All right. Seventh also you can do now. Let me come to this now. So guys, if the premise is given, you will see one set at least in LSAT AR which will make you use this clue. It will be given as one of the clue. If A then B, so one we know, if A happens and B happens, this is given to us. The other deduction is not B, so not A. Right? Now look at the variation in this premise. What they can change is, they can say if A, then not B. They would add a not to this. So for instance, they'll say, if I eat ice cream, I am not happy. I am not happy. Right? So we know the answer. First answer is if you eat ice cream, you will not be happy. The other answer is if effect does not happen, which means not happy did not happen. Not happy did not happen means you are happy. So if effect did not happen, cause would not have happened. So if you are happy, that means you did not eat ice cream. Did not eat ice cream. So my theory remains the same. Because they have made a change here, they applied a negative here, the answer, the other deduction changes here. The deduction here would be not B of, here the B is this complete part. See, look at the premise, if A then B, here they changed B into not B. So not B of not B is B, if B then not A. This is how it will change. It is important, guys. You will see the application when I solve more and more LSAT AR questions with you. Right. The third difference that they can make is they'll apply not here. So they say if not ice cream, then positive, then I am happy. Right. So what they did was they just changed here. So instead of A now, your A is not A. So my answer remains the same. If A then B, it is not B. So not A of not A would be A, right? So if I say if not ice cream, then I'm happy. The other deduction is if I'm not happy, that means cause did not happen. Cause here was not ice cream. So not ice cream did not happen, which means I ate ice cream. It looks tricky, but it is all about the same theory, guys. This is the only theory we are applying. If A then B, the other deduction is not B, not A. So if you're changing B to not B of not B will become B. If you're changing A to not A of not A will become A. Okay. Now what do you think, guys, will be the second deduction here in this case? If it is given if not ice cream, then I am not happy. If this is given, what will be the other deduction? Other deduction we know is no effect. So not happy did not happen, which means I am happy. If no effect, so no cause. What was cause here? Not ice cream. So not ice cream did not happen, which means I ate ice cream. Right? So if not A, then not B. The other deduction is that if B happens, A will happen. Right? So main question, 90% of the time in the questions, you will be given a single clue in the form of if A then B. But if LSAT wants to complicate the sets for you, they can change this by applying not either before B or before A or before both A and B. Right? But for us, we know that if these are the four possibilities, we know the answer would remain this. This is the fundamental deduction which we've already made. Okay. Now, let's look at a simple application of what we've learned till now. Again, you may pause the video, right, and apply this information and try to fill as many boxes as possible. You may use a tick or a cross. Okay. Now, I assume that you pause my video and you try to fill the table. Now, let me fill the table for you. It says B allotted marketing. What is the information that we know? It is known that A will be allotted HR if B marketing. So if B is given marketing, A will be given HR. Now here it is given that B is given marketing. So B is given marketing. So B cannot take any other department or subject, and nobody else can take marketing. From here we know if B takes marketing, A has to take HR. So no choice, A has to take HR. So I will have a tick here. Nobody else will take HR, and A cannot take any other subject. Now look at the second information. Second says if D is allotted finance, C cannot be allotted sales. Right? So guys, if here I give finance to D, if I give finance to D, only sales would be left with C. But if I give finance to D, I cannot give sales to C. So C will not be allotted any subject which is not allowed. So fundamentally it means that D cannot be given finance. fundamentally it means that D cannot be given finance, because if D gets finance, D will get this. Only sales would be remaining for C, which cannot be allotted to C as per this condition. So that basically means that in this case, D cannot be given finance. So if D cannot be given finance, D has to be given sales. Tick here, cross here, which means C will be given finance, right? As we know, if D is not given sales, right? Okay, so just look at this. With this condition, only one information helped us to fill the complete table. I'm just giving you a simple example of how do you get questions in LSAT. This is one clue and you can solve the entire table. Now let me change the clue. Let's say now the clue is this. D was allotted finance. What do you think will happen now? Again, I assume you pause the video, you come back now. So see what will happen. If you give finance to D, you tick here, cross, 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 cross. So if D is allotted finance, C will not be allotted sales. So I can automatically put a cross here. I'll put a cross here. Now, what about A and B? The condition that we know about A and B is if B is given marketing, A is given HR. So let me see what will happen if I give B marketing. If I give B marketing, nobody else will take marketing and B cannot take any other subject then. So close. If B takes marketing, A has to take HR. So A will take HR. So in this case, what has happened? Sales was not given to anyone and C was not given any subject, which is not possible. So fundamentally, it means that when D was allotted finance, B cannot be given marketing, right? So from this, I know that D cannot be given marketing. That's the only thing which I know. So let me use that. So I know B cannot be given marketing. So guys, one mistake that people do here is if B is not given marketing, they put a cross here that A will not be given HR. That we cannot do. That's what I've taught you till now. That if cost does not happen, if B is given marketing, A will definitely be given HR. But if B is not given marketing, A can still take HR. So if you put a cross here, you would have committed a mistake. So I cannot do that, right? I cannot do that. So if B is not given marketing, right? B could be given sales, B could be given HR. This question is solvable only up till here. And in LSAT AR, this question is a typical classic example when you'll get a question that if D was allotted finance, what could be possible? So this question will give you a could be question. The previous one is a classic example of a must be question in LSAT AR, right? So this is the important concept. If A, then B. I hope this is clear to you guys. The more questions you'll practice, the better you will get at this, right? There are a few questions which I've done on this. I'll put the links where you can practice a question or questions which are using if A, then B concept. Once you have practiced that, the links would be given in the description in the channel below, guys. Once you have done this, this is the master question. This is, I would say, the epitome of the difficulty level of the question that you can expect in if A then B. If you look at the question, everything is given. If A then B, if A then not B, if not A then B, right? So this is the master question. If you can solve this question, that means you've understood the concept thoroughly, right? The question is in the form of a PDF. I have shared the link below on the description. You can download the question, you can practice it. The solution to this question I have done in my class AR13. The title of the video is AR13. The link to that video is also shared here, as in the solution to this question is also shared in the description below. You can go through it. The title is called AR13. But I would suggest that you first practice other questions, then come to this, because as I've told, this is the master. This is the epitome of the difficulty level of this question. If you can do this question, you can tackle any question of if A then B. So with that, I end my session, guys. I hope you liked it. There are multiple videos which I have done. The links are shared below. You can just try them out. I do online classes. I take YouTube live session. This is an example of that. There are videos with my videos with repository of over 80 plus videos. To subscribe to this, subscribe to our channel. That would be encouraging me to come up with more such content. And whatever you want, whether you want to join my exclusive group, or you want to have one-on-one classes, or you want to have classes for specific topics. Let's say you want to only discuss AR, or you want to discuss only LR, you can do that. You can just drop in a message to me, WhatsApp it to me at this number, or you can email me at the mail drop given here. If you like the content, guys, subscribe to our channel. Thank you. See you in my next session. Take care, guys.